Fever FM, the number one choice in Leeds.
मेरे दोस्तों, आप सुन रहे हैं फीवर एफएम। मेरा नाम तमरेज़ खान है और आप सबको एक बार फिर खुश आमदीद। And I've got a young lady called where are we? Emma May from Forward Leeds, and we are talking about addiction, alcohol abuse, and drug abuse, and all that sort of thing. And this lady has been working with Forward, in this field for the last 16 years. Now then, can you tell me, Emma, is it an interesting job? Or is it a rewarding job as well?
It's extremely interesting. Every day's a school day. There's always something to learn. There's always different substances that we've not come across before. It's both very rewarding, but it can be really tough sometimes. It can be quite difficult. You do kind of get concerned with some of the more kind of vulnerable clients that we see. Mm-hmm. But yeah, when you're helping people, it's nice. I like it.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Is there any can you give me an example? You've helped somebody and they've come out, who's been in a really, really trouble and they've come out on the other side.
Yeah. I suppose kind of one that comes to mind is a lady that I worked with through COVID. So I never actually met her face to face. It was all over the phone. And she was in her 70s.
All right.
And she found that she developed a bit of an issue around her drinking after her husband had died.
Oh dear.
She'd been his carer for an awfully long time. And when he died, it was just at the start of lockdown. He didn't die from COVID. It was health-related things. And she wasn't able to find herself. And she ended up just coping with alcohol. And that drinking increased. And she was very isolated. And yeah, we did telephone sessions. And she just seemed, you could hear the changes in her voice. Just as you were speaking, the very first session that we had, she felt very low, very down. And by the time we'd finished, she sounded quite bright and light and happy. She was going out and meeting people and kind of really enjoying the rest of her life, which was lovely. I think a lot of people think, you get to your 70s, 80s.
Yes.
You think, well, why should I bother stopping? I'm going to die soon. But, life's there to live. And even if it's a couple of years of a good life, it's still enough to make changes.
Of course, yeah. And also, can you tell us, there'll be a lot of people listening here, maybe they're affected themselves, but they know someone, maybe their kids or their husband or their wife or whatever. What should they do? What's the step they should take, really? It's
really challenging if a loved one has an issue with alcohol or substances because you just feel so very helpless. They can always encourage them to refer to us at Forward Leeds. They can have a look as well. So Carers Leeds is a service in Leeds and they support loved ones whose family member might have issues around alcohol or substances. But it's a lot of things that you can do is just to try and protect yourself and be boundaried with the person who's got those issues.
Yes.
They can contact Forward Leeds and refer them as well, but they need to make sure that the person that you're referring, they know that they're making that call and then we can contact them, get some more details. But yeah, by all means, they can have a look at our website and see what's going on. Have a look at the Carers Leeds website and have a chat with us. We're happy to talk.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. Now, I also want to know, really, what, if you are yourself, you are in a different world when you're drinking. You do not realize and you do not have anyone to help you, to look out for you. In that situation, you may be just listening now and might be sober and say, oh, this lady is sounding good. They just need to get in touch with you. There's no cost to it or anything like that involved, is there?
No, it's a completely free service for anyone in Leeds. They can give us a call on our single point of contact. It's 0113 887 2477. We've got a website. People can refer themselves through the website as well if they struggle to pick up the phone. They can go speak to the GP. And the GP can put a referral into it as well. So, they can go down that route.
Oh, that's brilliant. And also, there's another question, really. The government obviously been trying for a long time now, increasing the price of alcohol and tax and units on all this sort of thing. Do you think that sort of thing has helped, to bring the levels of addiction down, or?
I don't know. I don't think so. I suppose I'd need to kind of look at the stats on that, but I know from kind of working within the service, it still feels as busy as ever.
Yeah, somebody who wants this, thing, they're going to find ways and means anyway, are they?
They are, yeah.
And is it, I mean, you say through the pandemic, the last couple of years, the rates have gone up.
It feels an awful lot busier. We're seeing, I think during the pandemic and in lockdown, especially when people were furloughed and they couldn't see family, people were drinking more at home. So it got busy through COVID, and then as things were lifting as well, people realising they needed to go back to work, come into the service for a bit of support. Myself, my for about a year, I was over capacity on my caseload, and I was very, very busy with people coming in.
Okay, I'm coming back to our South Asian community again. Obviously, the people who, can they come anonymously there, and you do not give their details to their family or their friends or anyone like that?
We are a confidential service. So we'll only share information if we really are worried about someone.
Right,
and they're putting themselves or someone else at risk. So, but in that instance, it won't necessarily be their family members that we'd share. When someone comes to the service, they control who we share information
All
with.
right, that's brilliant, yeah.
So if they want us to share with their kind of family, we will do. If they don't, we won't.
Oh, that's absolutely fantastic. Now then, they're so nice, and there's, as you say, we could talk about this for a while, and I'm sure you've got to go to do your job as well. Obviously, we can go onto the Forward Leeds website, and you've given us your phone number as well. Anything else you would like to add, Emma?
Just if you feel that you've got an issue, it doesn't have to be a physical dependence to come to us. If you're just finding that you're struggling to cope, that you're feeling you've lost control a little bit, or just around your alcohol or any other substance, come to us and we're here to help.
Right, fair enough. And so this week is a drug awareness week. What should normal people do?
So I'll give those guidelines again around the what the government say around alcohol. So alcohol, you should stick to 14 units per week with
14 units.
14 units, yep.
It's less than 1 pint, is it? A week.
About 7 pints a week if you
7
can manage
pints
it.
a week,
Yeah. About 7 pints per week with 2 alcohol-free days. And, a really good kind of harm reduction. If you feel that you might want to drink too much, start drinking later rather than trying to manage the end of the night when your inhibitions are lowered a little bit. Try and manage the start of the night first, and you're going to be more successful.
That is so nice. Thank you very much for giving us your valuable time, Emma.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, we maybe come to you again because we're going to be talking about this, and we want to drill this in people's mind. This is no good for you. Yeah, thank you very much again.
Thank you for having me. It's been lovely.
Oh, that's brilliant. Thank you very much indeed.